Welcome to Dropping Nickels and Dimes. I'm your host, Sean Joyce, and the Bills lost on Thursday night. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I can't say I'm doing good because the Bills lost on Thursday night, and the Bills, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we will.
But I am the professor. That's exactly how I feel about it.
No Jets on this table. Jets are off the table, but can't really blame much on... There's a lot we can blame, but we can't blame one specific thing. Or can we?
Well, if I had to pick one or two things, I'm
gonna let the third point of view go. You know, I'm gonna let the Steelers fan, from the outside perspective, go.
All right. So, well, you look at the Jets' defensive line. They got so many first-round draft picks invested into it, and they're rushing 5.
Yep.
So they're rushing 2 wide to get Tyrod to step up in the pocket, and then they're pressing the pocket with their 3 first-round draft picks. So it's easy. They're going to contain him. They're going to force him to make like a quick throw where he's under duress. He can't roll out like the Bills' offense tends to like him to do. And then the offensive line wasn't really doing too much one-on-one, and the offensive coordinator didn't do too much to help him out either. Getting the ball out quicker.
We really got beat on offense 5-on-5.
Oh, absolutely.
5-on-5, that's it. They dropped 6 in coverage. It was 5-on-5 all game. And that exposed Vlad Dukas, exposed... Cordy got beat a little bit. He didn't have a great night. Eric and Richie did fine, as they usually do. Jordan Mills got exposed. So, now on that game film, McDermott will be like, you pick all the linemen one by one, who played well, who did this, who did that. You got beat by him. You got beat by him. There's no excuse. That goes back to what you said, John. It's like we didn't really put anyone in for protection a lot. I feel like Tolbert wasn't in enough for protection for Tyrod.
I felt like they should have started calling a more like quick passing game, get Tyrod back in rhythm instead of having to like try these rollout plays where he's going on like a 5-step drop because the pocket's just collapsing and he can't do anything but step up, and then he gets pushed again and it's over. The play's done.
Yep.
-7 yards.
Adam, you agree line-wise?
Lack of motivation. Everybody's playing lackluster, looking like they don't want to even be there. Tyrod shows up in New Jersey. The offensive line stays in Orchard Park. There's flat out. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It was absolute garbage. Garbage, hot garbage bin. Professor's pulling it out.
He pulled it out.
Yeah, exactly. The Buffalo Bills offensive line goes in there. The Buffalo Bills defense, I don't want to tear them apart too much, but 22 missed tackles, man.
Before we get into defense,
listen. My biggest problem here is, like, why is it that we're screwing up on the small things? Like, we really can't. We can't.
I'll get into that.
We will get into that.
The lone bright spot on offense this week, though, Zay Jones. He actually he's been showing up. And on his touchdown catch, where the game was still like relevant, where he got right up to the top of his stem, faked out, and then came right back across his face, wide open, bang bang, easy touchdown for the quarterback, and like he's starting to look like a pro receiver, and he's catching the balls that he should be catching, and the ones that are questionable to catch. He's making those plays now.
I hate to be the pessimistic guy, but whose idea is it to send Zay Jones back out there the second time?
He probably said, I'm good. And if they tested his knee and the trainers did a grab on it and checked everything and
no way.
Bruised,
no way. That did not look good.
This is the NFL.
That didn't look good at all.
They wouldn't have let him back out now with the way everything's going unless he was ready to go. So he must have been ready to go. He looked fine in the second half. He was still running routes.
Still running good.
If a receiver,
but then he went down again. I was like, oh.
But from like the smallest thing, he goes down the second time.
Yeah, it might not. I agree with your point.
I'm not chancing it. I don't care. And I'm glad that Zay did heat up this week. This is what we've been waiting for, and this is the game we've been waiting for. And that first time he went down, there should have been a 15-yard penalty because that was stripping, but. I don't want to get into that and look like I'm the biased guy.
That's fine.
In my opinion, that was tripping. That should have been a 15-yard penalty. and I believe that did lead to Zay Jones being out for the game.
So he did hyperextend his knee. It did slow him down, and hopefully it didn't lead to a lingering injury, because that's the last thing we need, another receiver going down. But we're going to run through the game here. A couple pregame notes. Raymond Humber returned. Very happy about that. Micah Hyde returned punts.
And returned in Green Bay. He had, 4 of them in his career?
Yeah. But here, it's been, Brandon Tate has been the returner forever. I think maybe you want to switch it up a little bit, get someone else back there, see what they can do. Which is great. Adolphus Washington started his second game at D-tackle. So, things are changing. People are moving, getting lined up in different spots. But let's run the scores back. Josh McCown, at 38 years young, runs 10 yards as the line breaks away and his receivers are covered into the end zone, making me want to throw up. Comment?
Just the lights were too bright for the Buffalo Bills defense. Like, I remember early in the game,
what about Josh McCown's 10-yard touchdown run?
It was a joke.
That's what,
It was a joke. It really was a joke. It was unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
they just didn't show up,
man. One choice.
They didn't show up.
The defender played it right, but where's the line contained?
Preston Brown drifted. He was playing spine in the middle. Drifted to the right side, giving him that hole left open. And I gave Trey White a big lick because he was playing his man over the middle. If he would have just glanced over to the left, he would have been able to come back down. No one's paying attention to a quarterback. And we shouldn't pay attention to a 38-year-old scrambling, but Josh McCown ran in, 7-0 Jets. Bills come back downfield, still relevant, still in the game. Zay Jones, 10 yards from Tyrod, touchdown tied at 7. Go ahead. Praise Zay Jones.
Just like I said earlier, right at the top of the stem, that in and out move, just came right back across your face. Easy touchdown.
Zay's here. I believe he had 4 catches in the game. And, early in the year on Zay, we wanted him to get accustomed. We're going to put him in the slot. He's going to learn how to play the NFL. We'll Bolden on the outside. We'll Matthews on the outside. Well, of course, things have changed. So he's been jetted into 2. Now with him pulling back into the slot where he belonged the whole year at number 3, Benjamin on one side, Matthews on another, and him in the slot or him outside between that switch, I think the sky's the limit for Zay as the season goes along. Because they're only going to get better. They're going to get stronger communication between him and Tyrod. Hopefully they run it all the rest of the way out. Well, before halftime, the Jets hit a 45-yarder from Canzero, and then the Bills blew it on their 2-minute drive down the field. Guys, how do you feel, and thoughts and discussions on Jordan Matthews' fumble?
I appreciate his extra effort. But protect that ball. There's no way around it. And if you're going to get that first down, you better get it. Mm-hmm. I feel more comfortable with you protecting the ball and getting it with your feet and your legs. Keep moving them.
Even though it was 3rd?
I'm just, man, I'd rather you get it to 3rd or 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and a chance to punt it into the, 5-10 rather than turn it over and the momentum change and shift for the entire game, not coming back once at all for 1 second whatsoever, because the rest of the game, nobody but Tyrod Taylor showed up, and that's a fact, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it, because Tyrod still almost put up 300 yards, even though his offensive line stayed at one Bills drive this week. They didn't show up at MetLife Stadium. It was the worst pass blocking performance I've ever seen in my entire life from anybody on the entire offensive line. It was garbage. The Giants' offensive line is better than that. That was garbage. They played like the worst offensive line in the NFL this week. You play like that, you won't make the playoffs. Let me tell you something right now. You play like that, you won't make the playoffs. They better get their shit together this week, because that was unacceptable performance. I'm not having it. Shady McCoy shouldn't be having 25 rushing yards. Tyrod shouldn't be putting up almost 300 and having to fight from behind. It's ridiculous. That was nonsense.
I agree.
Well,
lackluster. Won't have it.
On defense, so many penalties that just kept giving the Jets more opportunities. Like,
who's
the linebacker who got flagged for chirping at the referee, and he already said
it was a defensive end, and it was Jerry Hughes.
We are going into Jerry Hughes.
All right, so you told me the story. I didn't know what he said and what caused it.
The ref told him that's enough. You could see him mouthing it, and he kept flapping his gums. And the refs walked to the sideline, looked at each other, and said,
"Throw
back," and they go,
What was the comment he made to the ref?
Jerry Hughes allegedly has said, "Your mother is a female dog," as he walked away. That's what's been said. So, I assume the other ref walked up to his buddy and said, "Did you hear that?" Drew up the flag.
That'll be a fine if that is true.
Very unsportsmanlike. Yes, everyone was frustrated at that point in the game.
So I hate to say it because I love Jerry, but that's so Jerry. And that's you gotta be disciplined.
In a big game, you're already down. The momentum's in that team's favor. It was what? Like you just stopped him on a 3rd and 8 or something?
17-7 at that point still.
And he goes and runs his mouth, automatic first down. They go and score.
Yep.
That is typical Jerry Hughes right there to get that type of penalty in that type of game.
What about,
I hate to say that. I hate to say that.
Who was in for backup for EJ Gaines because he was out?
Therese Wright, I believe.
Yeah, wasn't he the one who dropped the interception that hit him
right in the
Leonard
Johnson dropped the interception, and that would have been a game changer.
You guys would have been right in the red zone.
28-yard line.
It would have been killer. You got it. They've been making those plays, and then I hate to say it, Marcel is gone.
Marcel's gone, and all of a sudden,
and the floodgates opened in the middle of the field right there. They were running it down your throat, and then. We've been praising them all season for trying to make turnovers, but at some point in the game, I was like, Coach, tell them to just tackle the ball carrier. Because they were arm tackling, and they're sitting there swinging at the ball, and he's toting it down the sideline for 37 yards before he gets pushed out. Garbage.
It didn't matter if it was Forte, McGuire,
They were
Powell.
all doing it, because they were just trying to strip the ball. They weren't trying to tackle. They were just trying to make a big play.
Everyone's got excited the first 7 games because we've been stripping the ball. But you can't do it every play or every.
It's not going to happen every game. You aren't going to have a turnover every single game. It's not going to happen every single game. That's unrealistic. And you know what? I pointed it out during the game and said, "Well, Marcel's not there, but it's not an excuse. It's done. It's over. Marcel's gone. Fill the hole. Next man up." Where's the mentality we've had all year? Where's the next man up? I do not believe that Adolphus Washington can start at defensive tackle. He is not a guy that's going to start at defensive tackle. I do not think he's big enough. I do not think he's strong enough to go 4 quarters as the starter. My opinion.
Jarrell Worthy did get some time too.
I like Worthy.
I like what you said. It didn't matter at that point. No one was making plays.
There are no longer excuses of Marcel. That's it. It's who was there at that time, because Marcel is in Jacksonville and it's a whole other story. And it's over with.
Well, it's a wake-up call for the defense. This is what happens when you sleep.
And as McDermott said after the game, this is a humbling experience, and we're going to learn from today. Jets are up 10-7 at halftime because of the mistakes made before the half. Jets go downfield, drive down late in the 3rd quarter. Robbie Anderson's 25-yard touchdown wheel route from Josh McCown. Here was the problem with the play while I'm outlining it right now. Trey White was 15 yards back in coverage to start and then got close and boxed him in. Not a good move. I think he made a wrong decision on that. Robbie goes around and beats him with a speed touchdown.
Oh, yeah, when they were in the 4 birds.
Yep. Yeah, so I think Trey's going to learn from that play because he got beat. And, you should stay back.
He's legit, though. The last couple of weeks he's been doing that to kids. It's been on tape. They'll get down into that red zone area and they just throw deep to them because he's been winning.
Yep. But they
should have been ready for that.
He learned that. That was a learning experience there, and I'm glad that happened. I'm not glad, but, these little things that we're catching right now, that Trey, will be able to work on in the future. Jets scored another late touchdown in the 3rd. Matt Forte's 10-yard run off 5 or 6 missed tackles. Frustrating what we already said. Can't be missing tackles. Jets had the lead 24-7 at that point. Forte's another 5-yard run in the 4th. to extend the lead to 31. Oh, it just hurts to say 31-7. I think Forte broke a couple on that. On that drive, that was also Elijah McGuire broke 8 tackles on a 50-yard run. I think it was Powell, excuse me.
But that was ridiculous.
22, like you said.
22 missed tackles in the entire game.
They watched film already. So it's there.
I mean, on both sides, there's just not. I can't find one positive other than Tyrod Taylor and Zay Jones.
Got embarrassed.
Hey, 22 tackles, 8 sacks on both sides. That's really, really, really bad. So they really just need to get up, dust themselves off, watch some film. We're on to the Saints, right?
We're on to New Orleans.
That's how I feel as a fan.
Kanzar hits a field goal, 34-7. Bills make a late rush in the fourth. Tyrod hits Deontay Thompson on a 26-yard touchdown pass. Tyrod puts over a 1-yard lean to put in the end zone, actually rolled in. And then a successful onside kick by Stephen Housecoach is actually pretty encouraging, I thought, to see. But there's a positive for me at the end. They didn't quit, even though the game was over. So they know they made mistakes. They had a bad day. But do you think that this will carry over, I guess, the big question.
Absolutely. They got taunted on the field by the Jets.
Ooh.
You guys don't... Tell me you guys didn't see the video.
Are you kidding me? I watched it live. I watched it live, and I said, if I'm Richie Incognito on the other side, someone's getting punched in the face on the next play.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? You're disrespecting my offensive line, my entire offense. They think it's a joke. We're dancing, having a good time. It's a big party. It's a football game. If another team's beating your ass that much, you better get up on your horse and handle business. That was absolutely ridiculous. If they don't handle business this week, we're going to have a problem. Because then we start to see a pattern, and I don't want to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it needs to end now. Get up, dust yourselves off. We're on to New Orleans. That's how I feel as a fan. That's how I feel about this entire thing. Let me tell you something right now. How I feel about them fighting in the end, that's great and all, but we've been seeing that for 17 years. That was absolutely embarrassing.
Positives we'll take away from the game. Tyrod had a pretty solid day. If he would have had more time, probably would have had a better day. Deontay Thompson, 7 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Maybe we found, our fourth receiver now, somebody that get open, make that big play when it comes down to the time to make that big play. I'd love to talk up Nick O'Leary, but I'm still mad about the fumble. So
trying too hard, young man.
I think both those fumbles are reminiscent of plays where they tried, but you got to make the smart move on that decision. Yeah, you can't be,
live to fight another day.
No interceptions, no forced fumbles, 1 sack.
That's what happens when you don't get 3 turnovers as Bills defense.
I take the biggest thing I take away is Richie Incognito after the game. These Thursday night games suck. These guys have been on a schedule all year.
These games got to go,
man. They were not ready.
These games got to go. You know what Teddy Bruschi said on ESPN? When I played, we played one Thursday night game maybe every, who knows, maybe once in your career because you'd play on Thanksgiving. It's too much on these guys. Sean Merriman also said, early in my career when they first started the Thursday night games, it wasn't bad, but towards my 8th, 9th career after surgeries, you dread waking up on those mornings. So it's too much on these guys, man. And the ratings aren't even good. We're here to talk football, not about all that, but if you want to talk about really get into it, the ratings are garbage, and there's really no sense in having football on Thursday night. It's just for their buck, just like Richie said.
What do you think about Thursday night, Sean?
I think, in the beginning, they were all right when it was usually just, divisional games, but now they're, starting to mix it up with people you're, unfamiliar with, you don't see all the time, and it's just a short week, and, like you said, the veterans who've had those surgeries, I feel like it's probably taken a toll on their career.
This is wear and tear.
That whole full week.
Yeah, this is wear and tear.
Guys are beat the hell up. You giving me 3 days to get ready for a game? No, they're not ready. We weren't ready Thursday night. No excuses, but we weren't. Did not come out ready. But let's run over the week, guys. Saints beat the Bucks.
I'm glad we can get away from that topic because my blood pressure can't handle it.
We'll move on to the Saints after this. But Saints beat the Bucks 30-10 on Sunday. Looked real impressive, but the big story of the game was the fight, Mike Evans and the Saints. 3
fights in the NFL this week.
All I want to know is why was Jameis on the field?
Jameis should get a fine for poking him in the back. That was antagonizing, and that started the fight.
That was a typical Jameis Winston act right there.
That's Jameis Winston.
Let me poke your neck.
That's college Jameis Winston right there.
That was immature. That was not good. Marshawn Lattimore had the right to go nuts. Mike Evans overreacted.
Overreacted? He could have injured him.
Could have hurt him.
He could have really hurt him the way he literally just like threw it all into him. He wasn't even paying attention.
Receiver. He is every bit of 6'5". He got
hit with the suspension this week. He deserved it. I'm sure he got hit with a fine as well. He deserves every dollar that he got fined. He was wrong. I'm sure he knows he's wrong because he's not a bad guy. He doesn't have a history of this stuff.
Frustrated as hell because that rookie is locking him up in that divisional series. Mike Evans has 1 catch against him, I read.
Oy. That hurts.
As a rookie, and he's out here dominating top receivers.
Panthers beat the Falcons 20-17. Cam's back. How about a Super Bowl hangover? Falcons are 4-4.
Hangover started in the 3rd quarter of that game, right?
Right. It's over. Rams trounced the Giants 51-17. That West Coast offense out there. I've heard
they continue to show on Turf 2.0. They're still going big time, man. Let me tell you that right now. They're going for sure.
Titans beat the Ravens 23-20. A big game for the wild card. What do you guys think?
The Ravens.
We gotta keep
I don't have any interest in seeing them in for a 3rd time in a year.
Went over their schedule earlier, and I don't like it. They have a good schedule. They're 4-5. If they win, they could be the one to pull it out. But someone who is being held down, the Eagles beat the Broncos 51-23, keeping the Denver down away from us. How about the Eagles? 8-1.
They are on fire.
Hey,
the whole rookie class from last year is on fire. This week they were accounted for 16 touchdowns, no interceptions between the 3 of them. Goff, Wentz, and Prescott.
Yep.
The Eagles can legitimately win the Super Bowl this year.
Jay Ajayi looked awesome.
He did.
In an Eagles uniform. Big gains.
Jags beat the Bengals 23-7. Bengals done for the year.
Oh, absolutely. Andy Dalton has 0 time back there.
Yep.
He's getting murked.
And A.J. Green might want to take a choke.
Oh, yeah, when he RKO'd Jalen Ramsey.
Choke. Block, choke.
Second receiver.
I'm surprised.
There's another one. There's another one getting locked down. He had 1 catch that game.
Frustrated.
And he was frustrated, and he was also wrong.
Because he's a vet. He's 30.
Yep.
What are you doing? You're letting that young kid get in your head?
He did. Colts beat the Texans 20-14. Are the Texans done without Deshaun Watson? Is that it?
Yeah.
They pull back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why no?
Take my man off the receiver cord. Throw him in at quarterback. You already got the whole spread offense built in there. Braxton Miller threw what? 50-something passing touchdowns at Ohio State?
He's not wrong.
You got the mobile quarterback standing right there. You already got the system built. It's working.
Screw Tom
That's not going to
Savage.
happen.
Screw Tom Savage.
Screw the 2 kids they signed. Put Braxton Miller in there and keep letting those... Keep running the read option and then wide open spread.
Why are the Texans done, Adam?
Why are the Texans done?
Yep.
Because
J.J. Watt's not there.
Well, that's
merciless. And
I'm gonna say Tom Savage isn't that guy, and they're not gonna do something that ridiculous.
Another positive for us having the Texans done. Redskins pull out a shocker in Seattle, 17-14. That late interception. Redskins pulling out one. Cardinals 20-10 in our 3rd fight of the day. C.J. Beathard takes a big nasty hit late. Did not like it. Brawl between both sides. Carlos Hyde and Frosty Rucker.
Defend your quarterback.
Defend your quarterback.
I mean,
defend your quarterback.
At least it was to their face instead of them run down.
Yeah,
I'm sure a memo will be sent out to the league this week. We cannot have this. We cannot have this. The fights cannot be had.
So that means next week, the flags will fly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
they will be out on everything. Please tell me next week is Dallas versus Redskins. That would be phenomenal. Watching Dez and Josh Norman go at it in the week of the flags.
Whew. Speaking of Did Cowboys, upsetting the Chiefs at home 28-17. Yeah, I consider it an upset.
Keeping Zeke, that's great. The offensive line bullied Kansas City's defense.
Zeke played well, yes, I agree.
Bullied.
We found a Chiefs' weakness in the powerhouse, huh? But how about Andy Reid creating plays in 2017?
Is Andy Reid not one of the greatest coaches of all time?
That's why
we're not worthy. The man he creates a play. Creates a play in 2017.
Hail Mary scream.
Unbelievable.
Tyreek Hill gets his blocks upfield, finds his way in. Unbelievable. Still can't believe it.
Hands to the fastest man on the field and hope he runs.
The Raiders beat the Dolphins 27-24 to hold the Dolphins down just what we want, and the Raiders are back. Beast mode back. That's what they said after the game.
Beast mode should have stayed home.
Funny.
Beast mode is back. Jay Cutler should have stayed home.
Yeah, nice. All right, Lions-Packers, Monday Night Football. Who you got? Packers at home.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Who's their quarterback? Brett Hundley?
Brett Hundley, yes.
All right, well, I'm going to show a little bit more appreciation for a division rival Monday Night Football game.
Thank you, Adam.
I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford is that guy. He's going to continue to show that every dollar that they're giving him, he's earned.
All right.
He will continue to earn.
Let me go back to my on Brett Hundley. He's not going to compete with Stafford. I watched him absolutely nickel and dime Pittsburgh's defense all the way down the field, who's an incredible unit. Yes, granted they didn't score, but Matt Stafford was putting the ball wherever he wanted to, except in my end zone.
Well, I'm just
and I think he can definitely out quarterback Brett Hundley.
I'm gonna put it simply like this. John Gruden told me that Hundley is that guy, and I'm going to believe that he's that guy. So Monday we will see.
John Gruden's QB.
Hey, Gruden's that guy, man.
We will see after that results. But as we were saying in Buffalo this week, we're on to New Orleans.
We are on to New Orleans, and we're on to Charles Clay returning. We're on to E.J. Gaines returning. We're on to Calvin Benjamin making his debut as a Buffalo Bill.
Now, Bills fans.
Okay.
Does the road to the playoffs stop or start
in
New Orleans?
Absolutely does not stop because it's not New Orleans. It does not stop because it's not New Orleans.
At home?
We're going 5-0 at home.
On the stretch. Wow.
You damn right we are. Are you kidding me?
You gotta win at home.
So I know, and everybody that watches this week, watches this week, I know I was harsh on them about Thursday, but it's a new week. We're over that. 10 days off, 10 days to rest, 10 days for McDermott to watch film on a team that he's been playing twice a year for how many years now?
5.
Exactly.
Maybe longer because
exactly. And Calvin Benjamin to play a defense that he's played for 4 years twice a year. So I'm not worried about a damn thing. They're going to be freezing their asses off. Drew Brees is a dome quarterback, and
it's going to be 35 and cold. Buffalo.
He played at Purdue.
I don't
care where he played.
He's a 40
how many years ago was that?
17 years old.
Oh my God!
He can play in the weather.
He can. I kind of agree, but what scares
Can the rest of the team
play? Hey, a dome team coming up.
I don't care what anybody says. Drew Brees is a dome quarterback.
He is. What scares you more? His 105 rating, Drew Brees is, of course, Alvin Kamara's 341 yards receiving, or Mark Ingram getting the ball more now?
Kamara's dangerous.
Scares the hell out of me.
I don't know who's going to cover him.
He scares the hell out of me.
We could put Larry Johnson on him. I wouldn't put any linebacker on him. I don't think Gerald Hodges can cover him. I don't think Zoe can cover him. So that'll be interesting to see what we do against Kamara come Sunday. But,
you guys are going to try and arm tackle.
With this, I hope to God not. With the Saints.
I'm sure everybody, I hope everybody was chewed out.
And saw, wow, we missed that many tackles, and we
We're better than that. They know they're better than that. We know they're better than that.
We have one advantage the Saints didn't get this week, 10 days to prepare. So.
Hey, this is a new day. This is 2017, not 2007. We will move past last week. We will win this week. I promise, Bills fans, we will win this week. I promise we will win this week in Buffalo. We will be 5-0 at home. I will be there, being loud and proud, bringing it. And we're going to pull one out. Tyrod's going to have a good game. I think the offensive line's going to wake up. I think Shady will go off. And hopefully our defense doesn't miss 22 tackles.
You got a score, Adam?
Do I have a score? We'll go Bills 31, Saints 20.
Okay. John.
Well,
prediction.
Down at Orchard Park, it's about to be a little battle for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh.
Lattimore versus White.
Okay.
Who's going to have a bigger game? Who's going to shut down the opposing wide receivers?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it's about to be. And then the Bills are going to have to put up some points.
Yeah.
We're going
against the best Saints D in years.
Bills 28, Saints 24.
Wow, he picked the Bills. He picked the Bills.
I picked the Bills.
Wow, I'm going to be the bad guy then. My third straight week, I picked the Bills losing. I think the Bills are going to lose on Sunday because I think the D is going to get outworked by this fast offense. It's basically going to be the same thing. The recipe has been created. It was created Thursday night. Everyone starts to get figured out around week 7, 8, 9. They're starting to figure us out, unfortunately. I think Sean and everyone bounce back, but I think the Saints are on fire. They're 6-2. They're coming in here ready to go. I think they just win. I'm going to say 28-26.
Saints have won.
It's definitely
Saints have won 5 in a row. Yeah. Saints have won 5 in a row. Stops here. Stops at 1 Bills drive. Sorry, Mr. Joyce. I know you had to be the bad guy today, but I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to tell you right now, Buffalo, it stops at 1 Bills drive. And the 1-game win streak starts at 1 Bills drive this week. It's going to happen. I think the defense will come alive, and those turnovers will start to come on back around, just like we saw the first, 7 weeks? So
sure as I hope so, because we lose this. Tailspin.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen because it's a new day here in Buffalo.
Just got to believe.
And I'm going to believe.
That's right.
I'm going to believe it will be fandemonium.
Art Wander, old school. Still need to show me. And I don't breathe and I don't sleep until I see 10 wins. That's coming from me.
Hey, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're one of those fans that bought in and got really disappointed, such as myself this past week, take a step back. Take it 1 game at a time. The season's not done. It was 1 game. It was 1 loss. We're going to come back from this. They're going to come back from this. Kelvin Benjamin is going to show us that he's the guy here in Buffalo. He's going to be our #1 receiver. And I also not only promise a win, I promise a touchdown from that guy.
Wow. I like the promises because I hope you're right. Well, that's the end of the show. Dropping Nickles Dimes, of course. Like us down there, subscribe to us down there, comment down there, let us know what you think about the game upcoming, about previous week, or about how we do in general. I'm Sean Joyce, your host, and my co-host.
Your favorite Texas Steelers fan, John.
I am the Professor Adam McFarland. Stop the fighting in the NFL, all right? Peace, love. Have a good night.
Hi, everybody.
Night.